It is the Riot Podcast. Good Friday to you, June 17th. We all ready for the weekend, huh?
Yes.
Woo! Yeah. This is going to be, a wild one.
I mean, what a shame. The week went by so fast.
So fast.
It's too bad we can't do shows on the weekend.
Chris,
Come
you
in
can't
early.
stand behind me. If you're watching our podcast, which please make sure you watch the RadioU Riot and on our Facebook and YouTube channel. So if you're normally just an audio podcast listener, there's a video one, and Chris is behind me, so he's back there.
He's lurking in the shadows.
He's lurking. Well, we've got some good stuff in the podcast today, including, if you are watching this, click before to our video food fight where we try the Krispy Kreme berry donuts.
They were fantastic.
Yes, and we'll go have more in a
There's
bit.
plenty of them. Plenty
Yep.
to go around.
And one of the things we talked about today on the show, if you do watch the video podcast, you'll see Hudson standing up. And I looked over when you started doing that, and I was like, in my mind, of course, I'm like, dang, Hudson is so cringy. It makes me so happy. And then, but we talk about how, like, you're not supposed to sit for long periods of the day, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that as you guys were doing it, and because Nikki brought up, like, her Apple Watch, and I wear an Apple Watch as well. I, like, monitor my activity on there. I definitely sit for more than 8
How
hours
many
a
steps
day.
a day do you get?
On average, I have no idea
Well, you
how
can
many I
look.
get.
Just click on
Yeah.
your little thing.
I know, but I don't know how to do
How
it.
about a weekly summary? Mine's just like, you haven't done anything.
You know, I've got all these little things. I
Can't you
be
just
sure.
tell Siri to, like, Siri, how many steps did I walk or whatever?
Well,
You
this
can't
wouldn't
do
be,
me.
like, you need to go into look at yesterday. Like, today we haven't had any opportunities
Yeah, of
for...
course
I haven't had any opportunities today
What
to
do you
burn
mean?
many.
It's like 10 a.m. We could
Well,
be...
you know, I've made some steps. I've walked to
We've been
the...
awake for 6 hours.
I walked to the break room and back. I grabbed some donuts.
So, like, mine yesterday was 3,754. That's it. And that's awful.
Is that bad?
That's bad. You should get, like, 10,000 steps a day.
You know what's cool?
But we sit all day.
Is not even keeping track of that.
Oh, so you don't even know?
I have no clue.
So
No,
you
but
can
you're not
just...
making it.
I have no way to find out either.
This says I only did 3 flights climbed.
Isn't it horrible being burdened with that information?
See, I think it's good only because I always fill in my rings. I always reach my
Yeah,
goals.
I do that.
Which is the part of, like, if I fill those up, then I feel good about myself, even though it probably still doesn't mean I do that much. But I can justify whatever I'm doing.
So you want to know something terrible, though? When I first got my Apple Watch, I was like, well, can we lower the rings?
How low can the rings go? How low can they
Can
go?
we set our opportunity for? But yeah, I mean, it's hard in some jobs, we're not the only jobs, to stand or at least get steps in. So you just sit all day, and that's not the best.
Yeah, it was funny because when I first got my Apple Watch, my old girlfriend and I got them at the same time, and of course you can set the activity thing to where you compete, and whoever fills them in faster wins the day, you know. And we we were super competitive, and I lowered my rings all the way down, and she was like, "It doesn't even make sense how you're beating me every day." And I'm like, "I'm just staying active. I don't know what you're gonna say. You're not getting your steps in."
Perhaps that's why it didn't work out.
But, you know, it's not my fault, you know. It's not my fault.
Well, there's lots of other stuff to include in this podcast, of course. So hopefully there's something that you enjoy while you're maybe walking around while you're listening.
Something that strikes your fancy.
That's right.
Wait, walking around while listening.
Yeah, you can walk around, listen to the
Walking
podcast.
around in your flip-flops.
Oh, is that in here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is
okay.
it.
National Flip Flop Day?
Uh-huh.
See, are you a flip flop in between the toe kind of guy?
I would not be caught dead in flip-flops out in
Oh
public.
my gosh.
Unless I'm at the
Our
unless I'm
fashion
at the beach.
correspondent.
Yes.
Hudson.
Nobody
Well,
needs to see my toenails.
I just didn't appreciate something that Hudson says during it, and I think you'll notice it when it gets there, okay? All right. Well, everybody have a fantastic weekend or whatever day you're listening to the podcast. You know, no pressure. If you don't listen to it on the
On
day
your
that it
own
comes
time,
out. That's
on your own
right.
time.
Thanks for listening.
Enjoy.
guys.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Good morning, Isaiah.
Hi there.
Nikki, hello
Yeah.
again.
Hi.
Did you
I'm
guys?
here the whole time.
If I said hello to you every time we talked,
That's all right.
then that
You're
would be
such
weird.
a polite host.
Yes, I want to equally divide attention. I'm a good moderator.
Thank you.
So, did you guys stay up to watch the NBA Finals last night?
No, but I woke up to see the news.
Yeah, you did see the unfortunate news, Isaiah. did you watch?
Similar to Nikki.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning and I heard all about it.
Yeah, we all tried to avoid the game because we knew it was going to happen, right?
When I saw the score, I was like, I can't tune into this. I can't.
I just didn't care enough. Like, I wanted the Celtics to win, but I didn't care enough to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes me a fan or not.
Well, that also means you didn't care enough to be upset, which is good. That's a positive.
I was a bit upset. I was sad.
No,
She's a little torn about it this morning.
I was torn about it. And then I feel like you don't like the Warriors.
Yeah.
And so this morning, running through my head, I was trying to remember all the things you said bad about them. And Steph Curry, I was just like, I remember there were some insults.
Nikki's in her car on the way to work, just stewing,
Just muttering about
Oh
him.
yeah. Well, the end of the day last night, the Warriors defeated the Celtics in Boston, so on the road.
Oh, that hurts even more.
Yeah, doesn't it? To score, what is this? Their 4th championship, I think, in 8 years. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So they're really rolling, and Steph Curry, the man himself, finally added a Finals MVP to his resume. Already 3 championships, never had the Finals MVP. Now he does. So anybody. I mean, I'm a Steph Curry hater, but I never said he wasn't good. But
Sure.
anybody who's saying
Like him.
Steph Curry has a, what else do you want on his resume? He's got it all. He's done it all, and that includes beating the Celtics in 6 games to win the NBA championship.
So it was 103-90. Isaiah and I had the Celtics winning for Game 7. So we were just slightly off by it being the Warriors in Game 6.
Yeah, we were that close, you know?
So close. I had the Warriors, but I had them in 7, so a little bit of a failure there. But then we had Nene and JR both accurately predicted.
Oh, they picked in Game 6?
In 6. So
Good for them.
next basketball season, we'll have to ask them what's going to happen because they obviously know.
Well, I feel bad also because I never realized how long the road to the NBA playoffs is.
Oh, is it a long road to
long
hoe?
It's a long road, and I don't care anymore. So
Yeah.
I think next season I don't even want to pick at that point. I invested too much of my time.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to move on. You ready, Isaiah?
Yeah, the NBA Finals. I mean, it was just an okay series for me. Like this, I wanted the Celtics to win. I was excited about the Celtics, and just seeing the Warriors win again, it really puts a bad taste in my mouth, you know. But at the end of the day, good for Steph Curry, you know, getting the NBA Finals MVP, and I mean, at the end of the day, he was good. I mean, he's just good.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum for the Celtics severely underperformed.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown played well, and
Oh, we're blaming him.
we're blaming
blaming him.
Jason Tatum.
I mean,
who,
he's the star.
Yep, and last night he scored just a measly 13 points. And if you're the best
Ouch.
player on the team, you can't do that.
Come on, Tatum. What
I
are you
know,
doing?
Tatum.
They're
So
going to run him
what's-
out of town.
What's next? Is it college football? What am I supposed to be
You know
gearing up for?
Do you have anything, Isaiah?
What's coming up next?
Yeah.
It's football, yeah.
Okay.
So, so you guys aren't going to care about the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, is that? That's why I wanted to
I mean, they're
ask.
going on right now. We haven't
Yeah.
talked about them yet.
We haven't.
We
There's
haven't
only
talked
been
about,
one game.
Yeah, well, there's only been one game. We haven't talked about hockey playoffs at all. So if that's something you want to talk about, text in. Other than that, probably not.
Okay, so college football it is.
All right,
Yes.
So,
Okay.
no, Canadian football just
What?
started.
Canadian
So
football?
we'll do
I'd
Stanley
rather
Cup
talk about the
Finals,
Stanley Cup Finals than Canadian
Canadian football, and then we can start talking about college football. This whole time, baseball's like, but wait, what about us?
No one's including them.
No.
Is that still going on too?
Oh,
Baseball's
that's-
got like 220 games left.
Yeah, it's
so
So 2 more
You
weeks.
thought the
Yeah.
NBA season was long.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
If you'll excuse me, Nikki, I do need to do this.
Are you standing up?
I need to stand up.
Okay, first, it's really weird when you stand up in the
Look-
studio.
Yeah, and I'm not on the. Can I adjust the camera?
You're going to touch the
I'm
camera?
gonna stay up. I'm gonna stay up here standing,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why.
Is there something you want to say or?
I have an announcement to
An
make.
announcement. Oh, no.
No, it's because I don't want to die.
Oh, are we not supposed to sit as much?
Yeah, I've got a new study here from Simon Fraser University in British Columbia, Canada. They did this in collaboration with Beijing's Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences. They surveyed over 100,000 people over 11 years, and they found that people who sit for 6 to 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
that's us,
That is us.
because we do it for work. They experienced an increased health risk, an increased risk of early death by 12 to 13%.
See, we track, like I use my Apple Watch. It can track how many steps you do or like hours sitting, hours standing, that sort of thing. And I'm always so jealous because it became very popular during COVID time for people to get the walking treadmill desks.
Oh, yeah.
And they would clock in like 30,000 steps.
Oh, my gosh.
And here I'm like, I can't even get 5,000. Like, you can't even get anything because we just sit so much.
Yep.
But we also can't do standing desks here.
Why not?
Well, I think with our equipment, we would have to stand or sit. You can't go up and down like they suggest.
Right. That would make it difficult. And with the cameras.
Well, that's why you'd have to set them one way or the other.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if you have a standing desk, that's the nice part. You can go up and you can go down. You can change the height level if
you
you'd
just
like.
get tired of standing. Even now, I'm standing, but look at me. I'm leaning.
Are you stand up?
And if I can lean, I can clean. So then I should not be doing this either.
And what's also not fair is if you're using a community desk, like we're not all the same height.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
you could not have it be set for just one setting because for shorter people or taller people, it'll be a different stand.
So in other words, we're just going to die early then.
Yeah, we're still sitting down.
Here's the good news. We're not sitting over 8 hours a day, are we?
I don't think so.
Because if you sit over 8 hours a day, you had a 20% higher risk of dying early.
Yeah, but it's so much nicer to sit down, guys.
They did, and I don't think I see anything about laying down. What about that? What about that? That's an option, right?
Hang on. No, just teasing. Problem solved.
I don't know if I like this.
The standing?
The standing up. I don't know if I can stick with this. I mean, I don't want to die, but I also don't like doing the standing up.
You seem uncomfortable.
Yeah. You know, before I was on the morning show, I would sit down, except when I had to talk, because does my voice sound better?
You do. You actually, it is true.
It opens up the diaphragm,
if you
right?
Stand up.
So, it'd be better for everybody except my own self, except for each of us in our day to day. If we all just stood up while we worked, but I don't think we're going to start doing that.
Well,
as much as I don't want to die.
Why don't you throw it to Chris, our engineer for the studio, to see what thoughts he has on our newly redesigned studio on what we could do if we want to stand more.
Do you think they could? You could build a thing almost like the dollies.
Yeah.
The dolly where like you had stacks of up and then you could
sure.
right? But it's a dolly and it just holds me up, so I can still stand, but it's like a recumbent standing.
You know, nothing sounds lazier than that.
But I don't want to die, is all.
And actually, the other idea is just stand when we're not talking. Stand during the music.
That sounds even worse for some reason.
That actually makes the other person feel kind of anxious if you're just pacing around.
Yeah,
the room.
it would be a way for me to establish my authority over you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it'd be a real power move.
It would be.
In fact, I feel more authoritative already.
You stand, you just lean over the table. You're just like, hey, I'm in charge.
All right, Nikki, now clean up these donuts.
What?
Clean up the donuts. I'm being authoritative. I'm the standing
You want
one.
me to push them closer to you?
This is The Riot. Radio U.
Nikki,
Yeah.
winter is coming.
Not with how it is right now. We wouldn't mind some winter.
It doesn't sound so bad, does it?
I know it's how it always is. Whenever the country's under just this massive heat right now, you're like, I'd really love some snow.
Yep. And then as soon as we got snow,
Then you're like, I really wish it was summertime.
we'd be miserable with that too. Well, that's not the winter I'm talking about. And it's not the snow I'm talking about either.
It's nice to talk about it though.
Yeah, I'm talking about, of course, Jon Snow. You know,
From Game of Thrones?
the whatever he is in Game of Thrones with the scarf or the parka or whatever.
It's more like it's an animal pelt
Oh yeah.
that he's wearing around him.
Okay. So fashionable, functional. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
I watched a couple episodes, but not enough to probably track through like what actually went through the whole series.
So,
and I never read the books.
Do you understand that people were not happy with the ending, right?
Of course.
But the ending was supposed to really be the end, even though they're doing a bunch of spin-offs.
Mm-hmm.
But now, get a load of this. Jon Snow, Kit Harington, will be reprising the role for a spin-off series for HBO that's set following the end of Game of Thrones.
All right.
As a, like a mea culpa in
Sure.
a way, a chance to, they can retcon or something so that they can put that forgettable finale that people were not happy with behind them
Well,
and
for
as a way to change things.
For a while there, they were actually talking about just redoing the whole last season or at least episode. And then I think they realized budget-wise,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen.
And that's just a goofy way to do things.
I know, but they wanted to, I think, make it better. And then the one that's coming out is a prequel stuff, right?
I believe that it is, although, I'm sure that it is. I just don't know that much about it. Which I was wondering, too. This feels like how do I keep, I got too much saliva today.
You know why?
Why?
Well, we did a food fight with Krispy Kreme's berry donuts, and
I've
that's
never
why.
had this problem before. I feel like
You want
Sylvester.
a napkin?
No, I just need to dry out my mouth. I guess I need a piece of bread or something.
What can we put in your mouth to dry it out?
Is it a donut?
Put the napkin in, like gauze.
Yes. How about we interrupt the Game of Thrones sequel
To put a napkin
series
in your
chatter
mouth.
so I can just soak a napkin in my mouth for
Do
a
you
while?
want to fix the problem or not?
I do
We're
wanna
trying to give
yes.
you solutions, and you're not.
I need to be at my best for the show, and so the way I can be the best is by putting a napkin in my mouth. Anyways, what were we talking about?
I think we covered enough.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe we got it all.
It was something Game of Thrones, making a new one about Jon Snow sometime, blah,
And
blah, blah.
he should be in it, they say, for the potential spinoff.
It is with Kit Harington himself. Yep, there you have it.
There's actually, I don't have a napkin. I
You
lied.
don't?
There's a paper towel.
Oh, that's
It's
even more
worse.
absorbent.
I know.
That'd be much better.
You'll have no saliva the rest of the day.
Hudson, Nikki,
The Riot.
on Radio U.
You feeling it? You feeling it, Nikki?
I know there's some options. What am I supposed to be feeling?
Are you feeling it, Isaiah?
Oh, I'm feeling it
You're
now,
feeling
Mr. Krabs. I'm feeling it now.
That's exactly what I was thinking, by the way. Are
Is
you
it
feeling
SpongeBob thing?
Yeah, the SpongeBob thing.
from the band episode? Are you feeling the World Cup fever?
No. I don't think we get into the World Cup as much. I know, worldwide, everybody does.
Yeah. Do you like the World Cup, Isaiah?
I do like the World Cup.
Me
I think it's
too.
entertaining stuff.
You do?
I don't watch soccer.
You don't feel like
at-
it's horribly corrupt?
Oh, I definitely feel
Oh,
that.
enough.
Yeah, right?
We're just trying to enjoy something here, Nikki.
Normally, I try not to be the downer about most things, but the World Cup, I just can't get around.
Yes, it's horribly corrupt, but
But you still enjoy it?
It's the biggest event in the world. That's why they call it the World Cup. And there's a lot of other World Cups, but you know what we're talking about when we say the World Cup. And of course, the World Cup is coming up later this year in a country that we still don't know how to pronounce, right? Is it Qatar?
Qatar.
It's Qatar.
Qatar.
Yeah.
That's coming up in November of this year, around the holidays. But who cares about that? Let's talk about the 2026 World Cup, which I've just learned is coming to North America.
Hey.
Yeah. I guess this was announced a while ago, but what they did just
Who paid
do
the most money?
is
Wow.
Nikki,
Winner.
can we just have something fun?
I'm
Winner.
Can we just be excited?
You
It's-
watch one documentary on the World Cup
That's
and
what
I
you
just
get.
can't.
That's
Okay, so
what you get for watching documentaries.
Exactly.
where are we going? And I feel the same way about the Olympics, so at least I'm consistent.
But Nikki, I don't know if in our lifetimes, if it was, we would have had to have been very young. In our lifetimes, we haven't had the opportunity for the World Cup to be somewhere where we could drive to.
Sure.
And
So
still,
now it is?
even though it's in North America, it's still not really.
Where's it going?
At least for us, anyways. So they've announced these 16 cities between the United States, Canada, and Mexico that will be hosting World Cup games. The first time ever that 3 countries will play host to the World Cup in one go round. Here are the cities in no particular order: Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Guadalajara, Kansas City, Dallas, Atlanta, Houston, Monterrey, Mexico City, Toronto, Boston, Philadelphia, Miami, New York.
Hey.
Which is actually in New Jersey.
Well, they don't like you to point that out.
Do you see the big, glaring, empty middle of the country
Well-
that doesn't get to experience the World Cup very easily?
Honestly, though, it feels like that would be the expected cities anyways. And I'm sure most of those have teams that would play.
But they don't think they need to include Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota, Ohio.
What's Detroit?
How did
It's
you
a
say?
big major city.
How did you
goodness.
say Detroit?
What do you mean, Detroit?
No.
We got to stop that right now.
What are you talking about?
We got to quit that right now.
Detroit.
Detroit.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's how they say it.
That
there.
is not who is this they you
I've heard
speak
it,
of.
I've heard it both ways.
That's what people say when they say it the other way.
I've heard it the way you guys think.
So bad.
I've definitely heard it that way. Anyways, Denver, what about the middle of the country? Can we have some Kansas City is still a day's drive from many of the places I just mentioned.
Yeah.
So St. Louis, again, I just feel like it's a coastal bias here.
It's too late, though. 11 are in the U.S., 3 are in Mexico, 2 in Canada. They'll be announced later, like the specific locations for matches, including opening matches and final stuff. So they'll have more information later.
We really need both Houston and Dallas to host games, but not, Detroit.
Well, you want to hear this?
Detroit's kind of near Toronto.
You sound all sorts of wrong. So it's bad. Do you want to hear the other cities that did not get picked?
Yes.
Okay. Cincinnati, Denver, Edmonton, Nashville, Orlando, and Baltimore.
Okay, I feel like Nashville and Denver, if I had to expect any of those would be two pretty big ones
They
that
could've
we
been
get picked.
good.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have nice stadiums that don't know anything about soccer, but I'm sure they do.
Oh yeah, I mean you think about like the Tennessee Titans play there, like the Denver Broncos, like the one that's in Los Angeles.
Of course, the football team.
Yeah, I mean those are like the one in LA. They're playing at SoFi Stadium where the Rams play. So I mean those are like the biggest stadiums you can play at. But yet again, I mean if I was traveling around, I probably would pick some of these cities on the list as well.
Sure.
They
say
might be
the
fun.
main opening match will either be Los Angeles or Mexico City.
All right. Well, I'm starting to feel the World Cup fever, and I'm looking forward to Canada having home field advantage.
But remember, due to still current things, don't mention if you have a fever. just stay over there, okay?
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
It's also today we have a holiday as well.
We do.
Every day as we're celebrating,
I feel like if you look it up, every day has something.
Oh, they absolutely do. Today's is one, though, that might be close to your heart, or should I say close to your feet.
Yeah.
It's National Flip-Flop Day.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're the flip-flopper around here, aren't you?
But technically, no. I stopped wearing flip-flops a few years ago. I only wear slides, which are not flip-flops.
But don't they flip and flop?
I
hear them flipping and flopping.
Are you saying you hear me walk? How dare you
I hear your
notice that?
shoes.
Oh my gosh. Now you're going to make me paranoid.
Why?
You shouldn't notice anything.
What do you mean? They're flip-flops. It's in the name.
Then I have to take my shoes off just to walk around
Why do
here.
you think they're called flip-flops?
They're not.
They named them that because they make a sound.
Well, let me look.
They're the only shoes that make us. Well, I mean, that's clogs and tap dancing shoes.
Are
maybe.
slides flip-flops? Because I assume flip-flops had to be, what goes in between your toes. Let's see. Slides are similar to flip-flops.
Those are thongs.
Yes. But instead of a strap, they have a single. Well, that's not the answer. Are they considered in the footwear you're looking at? No. There's no real answer, is there? That's not easy to look.
It's up to debate. I mean, why wouldn't you not include your slides as flip-flops?
Because I never call them flip-flops. But when I'm wearing flip-flops, I say those are flip-flops.
Maybe you could call those thongs to differentiate. Because maybe what you wear, the slides, that's like it's a tree.
Yeah.
And so the flip-flop is the trunk of the tree. And then there's different branches, and one of the branches is slides like you wear.
Are you really trying to break it down into that?
Yeah, I just think they flip and flop when you walk.
Yeah.
Is that not what they do?
Yes, but
I think
we
they
just
flip-flop.
traditionally don't call them flip-flops. So I don't know how on point we want to be for the day if it's a holiday.
So you don't want to celebrate is what you're saying.
Well, I'll go home and I'll find flip-flops. I'm sure I still have some.
Yeah? I don't.
And then I'll come back and then I'll walk loudly with them because you notice.
It's the sound they make. I don't know why that's a problem.
Never mind, Hudson. Never mind.
I didn't know.
Now I can't even walk here
I didn't know
peacefully.
that saying your flip-flops flip-flop when you walk.
No. You just had to do that, right?
If you get up and walk, they're going to go flip-flop.
Now I have to shuffle around this whole building.
Actually, I saw somebody doing that at Walmart last night, shuffling, and I thought that was way weirder.
Well,
so.
maybe someone said a comment to that person, too.
Yeah.
Man.
The Riot.
Radio U.
Now, Nikki, I'm ready to hear your take on this story, but I also really wanted to bring Isaiah in because this is like his loves. What does Isaiah love? ice cream.
Ice cream.
True. Yes.
You used to live on a farm.
You make it.
You're making it such a stretch. It's such a stretch.
You are our farm correspondent.
It just
It's
meant
such a stretch.
He lived outside of like the city, but he
live in
didn't
the
have like
country.
a
He had
farm.
pigs.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it a farm. Okay, there was a couple pigs on my property.
What did you
That
do
would
with
be
the
if you
pigs? You
made
farmed
money
them.
off the pigs.
I did make money off the pigs, but
You lived on a farm.
it's not a farm though. There's only a couple pigs.
Did it have a big building outside where the pigs lived?
You mean like a barn?
Yes.
Yes, there was a barn.
Did you
That
have a
doesn't
tractor?
make it a farm.
Did you have a
farm.
tractor?
No, we did not have a tractor, so there you go.
Did you have any fields?
There is a lot of property around my house.
Did your dad have to do stuff on the weekends because farming doesn't stop?
No, I know. We didn't like grow anything outside of our regular garden. It wasn't like we
You
were
had a
farming.
garden?
But there was like a little, like we did like tomatoes, like just like a typical
Do you know
garden.
that us growing up, we didn't have tomatoes.
No,
You couldn't grow
We
those.
grew like 6 stalks of corn
Yeah, you're
and some
a farmer.
tomatoes.
You're a farmer.
Oh my gosh.
Why are you so resistant to being a farmer?
It's just because there's probably someone listening that is a farmer, and they're like, "Well, that's not really a farm." And so, in my mind, I'm not trying to claim
but
that I
there's,
lived on a farm.
there's always people like that. There's
Yeah.
always people like that.
So did you have cows at your farm?
No, I never had cows when I lived there. No.
Still, I want you to provide your expertise on this. Okay. So, I've always heard, or not always, but for a long time, I've heard the thing of like, well, you got to watch out for the cows burping and farting. They're releasing too much gas into the atmosphere or whatever. And I
think
always thought that was like a straw man argument that like one person would make. It's like, oh, those tree hugger, whoever, they just don't, they're worried about the cows burping and farting. That's how much they're worried about this. Like, can you believe that? And I thought that
it can be bad.
I'm finding out that some of those, supposed tree hugger, whoever, they actually do really care about the cows burping and farting. And so the tree huggers at Ben and Jerry's, they
Call them tree hugger.
well, that's how a lot of people would refer
What
to
a
them.
generalization.
A lot. What? That
Actually,
I'm
Ben and Jerry's, they
generalizing.
sometimes are that style.
Yeah,
That's all
I know.
right.
That's if you were thinking of an ice cream company that would do this, it would be Ben and Jerry's. They are.
I mean, they're in Vermont.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's the state of Vermont. Who wouldn't, you know?
Now who's making a generalization?
Generalization. Exactly. Exactly.
They don't even have room for barns.
Yes.
The point is, Ben and Jerry's, they are legitimately concerned about cows burping and farting. And so in that vein, they are doing something called Project Mootopia, a very serious thing.
Catchy name.
They are changing the diet of their cows to reduce how much they burp and fart to try to help the climate, the environment.
Yeah.
They are reducing some of the different products that they would feed the cows that
That's
might
farm dogs.
help them release a tremendous amount of methane into the environment.
Are they putting like a Tums in the food or like a gas thing?
a Rolaids.
A Rolaids or something?
No, what they're putting in is red seaweed is one of the things that they think is really going to help. Red seaweed and fewer synthetics. Plus, they're going to increase the amount of grass in the diet to reduce flatulence. Isaiah, you're a farming expert. Did you know that increasing grass in the diet and also adding seaweed would reduce flatulence?
Well, I mean,
no
obviously,
idea.
everybody knows
Yeah.
that. That's such an obvious thing.
Yeah.
Is it going to
is,
change anything with the dairy, though, for their ice cream? Or
farming expert, what do you think? You
See,
get
I would
different
say
milk
the
from a cow?
product of Ben and Jerry's will probably say similarly to the same. You won't notice the extra grass in the diet, I
I mean,
would say.
you are a Ben and Jerry's expert, to be sure, right?
Of course. I'd say
So
Ben and Jerry's isn't my preferred, but I will eat
Really?
it, yes.
What is your preferred?
Well, see, I don't know if I have a preferred in the pints, but it wouldn't be Ben and Jerry's.
Okay, so
Grater's.
but if
It is Grater's.
is
Grater's
Grater's.
is by
Just
far my
saying.
favorite. It's my favorite.
Well,
Would you
Project Mootopia is a pilot program, Hudson. So it'll be 15 dairy farms in the U.S. and in the Netherlands, and they're the ones that supply milk to Ben and Jerry's. And then they'll do the results of their findings and then let everybody know who's interested.
I hope it works, I guess. Isaiah, last question. You think as a ice cream connoisseur, you would notice...
And a farmer.
And a farmer.
Will you notice a difference? Like if anybody, or in other words, if anybody's going to notice a difference in the this product they're putting out, it's you.
Yes, obviously.
All right, so report back to us.
Okay, you want me to try the Ben & Jerry's?
I
Of
want you
course,
to-
yes.
I don't
Like,
know if they're actually
toss me-
selling what they make though until they do their findings.
To figure out if that
Yeah.
red
What are they gonna-
seaweed is doing something
What-
weird.
Hold up. They're just going to throw away the milk? That sounds wasteful. That
No,
doesn't
they'll
sound like Ben and Jerry's. Doesn't
they'll
sound
make
very
it.
good for the environment.
Well, also you'll know when the price goes up because
Yes.
this is
I was
obviously
thinking
going to be
about
more
that.
expensive.
I was thinking about
that's
that.
the worst.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.